Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this the fourth and last episode in this series where we are opening the different commander decks in the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth from Magic the Gathering. Today we're gonna be opening the Hosts of Mordor. So Sauron, Lord of the Rings. It's a 3-color deck, blue, black and red, and like one ring to rule them all. So what kind of creatures we have here? We have of course Sauron, but we also do have Saruman, the White Hand, the Lord of the Nazgul, and maybe some dragons, and probably of course lots of orcs, uruhais, and maybe some beasts of some sort, maybe some balrogs. I don't know, I'm really curious to see what's inside this one, because of course these are the baddies, they're the bad guys in the series. So let's see what are going to be the main opponents of our main heroes that we've been opening so far. So without further ado, let's jump into this deck, guys. Okay, so we got the box open, and as always, the first things looks like some sort of like deck separator, some few tokens as well, the image of our commander Sauron, Lord of the Rings, and on the back side a custom box for this deck. Let's see the art on this one. Ooh, both Saruman the White and Sauron. So the two Maya, the two fallen Maya. Let's see. Okay, and here we have the good stuff. Okay. So, I think it's the first time that we got the life wheel in the correct place, both 40 and 20. Oh, 19, never mind. I guess that's, that depends a little bit, okay. So, and here we have the instructions for this deck. And the cards, of course. And as always, the tokens and the extended larger version of our commander and the booster sample pack with our, I don't know what's gonna be inside, we'll see in a little bit. But first of all, of course, as always, let's look at our cards. Okay, let's get this one open. Okay, so this is, let's see if we can get it focused. Sauron, Lord of the Rings, 8 mana, blue, black, and red. So this is the colors of our commander deck, and he's Sauron in his elvish form. Avatar Horror 9/9. When you cast this spell, amass orcs 5. Okay, so you get a 5/5 orc army. Mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. With Trample, which is really strong with a 9/9, of course. And whenever a commander and opponent control dies, the ring tempts you. Damn. So again, with like cards with the ring tempts you, trigger ability again. I really like the effect on the lightning behind him. Wow. I guess it's the most powerful card that we've seen, like most powerful creature at least that we've seen in all the videos that we've like been making in this series. So really cool. And of course, let's leave that one there. Saruman, the White Hand. Also blue, black, and red, 4 mana, 2/5. Goblins and orcs you control have ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass orcs X, where X is the spell's mana value. Okay, wow, that's really strong. So you get a lot of works going on here. Over all his works a dark smoke hung and wrapped itself about the size of Orthanc. So this is when, of course, Saruman has already turned himself to the dark side. We can see already on his staff, it's like glowing, like it's a dark bluish, purplish hue. Really nice. Okay, and the rules and instructions, we don't need those. Put that one aside. And okay, let's see the other cards. Corsairs of Umbar, 4 mana, blue, 3/3. Target goblin, orc, or pirate cannot be blocked this turn. Oh wow. They look terrible, these people. They look really frightening. Whenever Corsairs of Umbar deals combat damage to a player, amass orcs 3. Okay. This is kind of strong. To keep going with our armies of orcs and goblins. And then they cannot be blocked, of course, so that makes them more strong. Monstrosity of the Lake. Kraken. 4/6 for 5 mana. Looks kind of like maybe the one in Moria, but I'm not sure. I don't think, because that's something else. When this guy enters the battlefield, you may pay 5 V2, tap all the creatures your opponents control, and put a stun counter on each of those creatures. Okay, wow. That's strong. You like the details in this one as well, of course. Okay, up to the next one. Let's leave it there with the legendaries. It does actually. It could be like the one in Moria, though, to be honest. Subjugate the Hobbits, 7 mana. Gain control of each non-commander creature with mana, value 3 or less. Damn. This is worse than Mordor, much worse in a way. It comes from home to you, as they say, because it is a home and you remember it before it was all ruined. So I guess this Saruman, when he takes control of the Shire as Sharky. That's not in the movies, but yes, it is in the books. When the hobbits come back to Hobbiton and the Shire, it is under the control of Sharky. Okay. Ooh, wow. Really nice one here. I wasn't expecting this one when we first looked at the box outside. Shelob, Dread Weaver. 4 mana for a 3/3. Okay. Whenever a non-token creature an opponent control dies, exile it. Okay. Put a creature card exile with Shelob Dread Weaver in the... Ooh, okay. Okay. You can put counters, draw cards. Lots of activated abilities in this one. And you can put this one back into the battlefield. So definitely really good card here. Let's put it here. Okay, and a dragon. Cavern Horde Dragon. 6/6 for 9 mana. Completely red creature with flying, trample, and haste. Wow. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest number of artifacts an opponent controls. So of course dragons want and they're very greedy of treasures. So of course artifacts or treasures, then this card becomes cheaper to cast. Okay. And when this guy deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that the player controls. Whoa, okay. So adding more mana with this card. So once it's on the battlefield, then you basically cannot stop. Keep going. Let's put it over there. Orcish Siege Master, 3 mana for a 0/5 with trample. Other orcs and goblins you control have trample. Damn. Love that here you can see a little bit of like the Eye of Sauron glyph that the orcs like to draw everywhere, I guess. And when this creature attacks, it gets X. Oh, okay, X 0 until the end of the turn, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So okay, so here it's not such a pacifistic creature, but it actually has a way to attack as well. Okay. Rampaging War Mammoth, 7 mana for a 9/7. Okay, so that's very close to Sauron's full toughness and strength. Trample, cycling. When you cycle Rampaging War Mammoth, destroy up to... Okay, target artifacts. The Mumahil of Harat were great beasts, like moving houses capable of dragging huge towers and engines to war. Boom, so I guess this is one of the Mumahil. Expensive cards so far in this deck, and another one here. Of course, the Balrog of Moria. Oh wow, Avatar Demon 8/8, so almost as strong as Sauron. 7 mana, trample and haste. When the Balrog of Moria dies, you may exile it. When you do, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target creature that player controls. So I guess that's like a reference to Gandalf, I guess. When you cycle the Balrog of Moria, create 2 treasure tokens. Okay. Really powerful creatures in this deck. Grima, Saruman's Footman. Blue on black. 4 mana for a 1/4. Grima, Saruman's Footman cannot be blocked, which makes sense, like knowing what kind of character this is. I can see here with holding one of the bombs, I guess, that is later being used in Helm's Deep. And at the back we can see Saruman, probably like having a speech towards the orcs and Uruk-hai. Whenever Grima deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Wow. Then that player puts the exiled cards that were not this way on the bottom of the library in a random order. Wow. So you get a lot of power from Grima. I wasn't expecting that from knowing what kind of character he is. But of course he plays a major role in the books. In the Darkness, Bind Them. 5 mana, blue, black and red for a saga. 4 turns. First, create a 3/3 black wraith creature token with menace. The ring tempts you, so I guess that happens in both first, second and third turns. So 3 Nazgul, although they are called wraiths here, and a 2/4. For each opponent, gain control up to 1 target creature the player controls until the end of the turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until the end of the turn. The ring tempts you. Oh wow. Oh, maybe not the Nazgul, but so 3 times. And then for each opponent, you can control up to 1 target creature. So kind of like maybe a reference towards, of course, yeah, the original rings, naturally. In the Darkness, Bind Them. Maybe 3 could be connected to the elves. Wow. Next one. Lidless Gaze, 4 mana. Looks like Frodo or Sam, I guess Frodo probably. Exile the top card of each player's library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards and mana of any type that can be spent to cast them. Wow. And has flashback as well. Wow, okay, it's really nice. mean, once you have lots of mana, you can easily like cast whatever it comes, right, from those libraries. Oh, Lord of the Nazgul. 5 mana, blue and black for a 4/3 with flying. Wraiths you control have protection from ring bearers. Oh, love all these kind of like details that are so well made, so they're really well connected to the actual lore in the books and the movies. Here in the bio, I guess we can see Minas Tirith, and maybe this army down here are the Rohirrim, the ones from Rohan, charging upon the armies of Mordor in the fields of Pelennor. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 3/3 black wraith creature token with menace. Then if you control 9 or more wraiths you control have base power and toughness 9/9 until the end of the turn. Love all these all these details. It's so well done. I'm so happy I got all these decks, guys. Moria Scavenger, 3 mana for a 1/4 with Death Touch and Haste. Discard a card, draw a card. If this card was a creature card, amass Orcs 1. Okay. So you get growing your goblins and your orcs. It's so like, I love this strategy. Really nice. Summons of Saruman. Amass Orcs X, mill X cards. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value X or less from among them without paying its mana cost. Okay, and flashback. So again, more armies, more orcs onto the battlefield. And if you get like a really nice instant or sorcery spell without, okay, you can really like have some good like synergy with this kind of stuff, and then you can flashback it as well again. Okay. Interesting color palette in this one. Let's put it over there. True Greedily to Deep. 7 mana for a sorcery. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Wow. That creature deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. The dwarves tell no tale, but even as Mithril was the foundation of their wealth, so also it was their destruction. Yes, indeed it was. They awoken darkness and fire in Khazad-dûm. Damn. The Balrogs are so cool. The creatures, everything in the Tolkien's universe is so interesting, right? Wake the Dragon. 6 mana. Create a 6/6 black and red dragon creature token with flying menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, gain control of target artifact that player controls. Boom. Damn, the power that this deck brings into the battlefield is just nuts. Wow, the art's so well done. I wish I could draw this well, guys. Relic of Sauron, 4 mana for an artifact that you are able to 2 mana in any combination of blue, black, or red. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Not bad at all. While the power of Sauron grew, light and living things forsook his borders. Wow. I really wonder what kind of relic is that. It's just like, it looks like the helm that he's wearing in the art of this one. Is it? Looks like it, right? Yeah. Really interesting. Really different from the kind of helm that it was made by Alan Lee in the movies of The Lord of the Rings from Peter Jackson. So it's different understanding on how the helm of Sauron looks like, but I really like it, I guess, with the red eye, I guess, a reference in the forehead area. Oh, the Black Gate. Legendary land. Gate. As the Black Gate enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. So you add a swamp, or black mana, and if you pay 2, choose a player with most life or tied. For most life, target creature cannot be blocked by creatures that player controls this turn. Pooh. So if you combine some of these with the cards that we already have here, we can already like activate a few abilities as well and like trigger some effects. Decree of Pain, 8 mana, destroy all creatures, they cannot be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way, and has cycling. When you cycle Decree of Pain, all creatures get -2, -2 until the end of the turn. So you can get kind of like a less of its effect if you cycle it. A bit cheaper, I guess. Oh, nice. Next one. Languish. 4 mana. All creatures get -4 until the end of the turn. It seemed to the tenders of the sick that on the halfling and on the Lady of Rohan, this malady lay heavily. Soon they began to fall down into the darkness, and as the sun turned west, a grey shadow crept over their faces. Wow. The malice and this, you can see already from this art, it's so insane. Okay, next one. Living Death. 5 mana. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all creatures they control, then puts all cards they exile this way onto the battlefield. So, okay. So this way you're never afraid of letting your creatures die and go to the battlefield, to the cemetery, because, you know, they can always come back from the graveyard easily. Wow, they seem like black holes in the deep shade behind them. Frodo thought that he heard a faint hiss as a venomous breath and felt a thin, piercing chill. So again, it's a reference from Weathertop. Reanimate, 1 mana, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value. I mean, you know, there's decent trade, I guess, in certain situations. But the ring wraiths themselves cannot be so easily destroyed. Indeed not. Indeed not. Blasphemous Act, 9 mana. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. So, okay, that's so bad. Blasphemous Act is 13 damage to each creature. Wow. Borarum. This Borarum. Treebeard. Okay. Next one. Goblin Dark Dwellers. 5 mana for a 4/4. Menace. Oh, this look really creepy. Their faces though. When Goblin Dark Dwellers enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Okay. 10 though. So you can again like do lots of cool stuff like bringing back your creatures or like some of the sorceries that we've seen so far. Inferno Titan. 6 mana for a 6/6. Whenever Inferno Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. Okay. I dare say there's more truth in some of them stories than you reckon. Cool. I don't know exactly which one is this one. It's some sort of like Morgoth or Sauron's minions, maybe one of those titans that just come from the mountains. They basically have any kind of sort of minion always under their control, right? Nullspine Dragon, 7 mana for a 7/5. Wow, really strong stuff here. Flying. When Nullspine Dragon enters the battlefield, you may discard your hand and draw cards equal to the damage dealt to target opponent this turn. Okay. So you have 1 card or you have 0 cards, and then you get, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, 6 cards for free. Of the 7 rings of power the dwarf kings possess, 3 Sauron has recovered, and the others the dragons have consumed. Dragonfire can destroy rings, that's true, yeah. Scourge of the Throne, another dragon, I believe is the 3rd one. 1, 2. Yeah, I believe so. The 3rd dragon that we're getting so far in this deck. 6 mana for a 5/5 flying, and dethrone. What's dethrone? Okay, wow. Put the counter with 1/1. Or death throne. Not dethrone, death throne. Whenever Scourge of the Throne attacks, dethrone, yeah, of course, because yeah, dethrone. Attacks for the first time each turn if it's attacking the player with the most life or tied for most life, and tap all attacking creatures. After this phase, it is another additional combat phase. Interesting. Interesting mechanic. Scorch the Throne of the Throne. Siege Gang Commander. 4 mana for a 2/2. And when this little guy enters the battlefield, create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Okay, not so bad, not so bad. And if you sacrifice a goblin, the Siege Gang Commander deals 2 damage to any target. Okay. I wonder if we're gonna see Gron, like the war machine that is supposed to, to break down the gates of Minas Tirith, that it's in the honor on the name of Morgoth's mace or weapon. I wonder, we'll see. They began to throw missiles that passed right above the battlemen and fell thudding within the first circle of the city. Cool, really nice. Treasure Napper, 3 mana for the 3/2 Goblin Rogue. Cool art. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until the end of their next turn. Of course, goblins are very, very greedy. To his dismay, he could not both fight and keep hold of his treasure. Yep. Hostage Taker, 4 mana. Oh, Human Pirate. Cool. For the 2/3. And when this enters the battlefield, exile another target creature or artifact until this guy leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exile, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. Umbar was a refuge for all the enemies of Gondor, a threat to its coastlands and to all traffic on the sea. A lot of, I think every single deck has at least some sort of enchantment or something that can take away someone's creature card away. Okay, Notion Thief. 4 mana for the 3/1 with flash. If an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead that player skips that draw and you draw a card. Okay. That's your tone, is it? Change it or we will change it for you. You little folk are getting too uppish. Cool. I don't know what he's holding. Looks like some sort of a gemstone or something. Interesting. Next one. Choked Estuary. So, really nice land style. Odor of the Morguldoin was silent and steaming, but the twisting vapor that rose from it was deadly cold. Nice. So either blue or black mana. Desolate Lighthouse. Colorless mana. And if you draw, then you draw a card and discard a card. Okay. Really nice art one. This one. The Numenorians. Dragon Skull Summit. Cool. Someplace in Mordor, I guess. Now the great cloud hangs over all the land between here and the mountains of shadow, and it's deepening. War has already begun. Oh. Cool. Really nice. Drown Catacomb. Blue and black mana. Creepy, but really cool. The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places. In all lands, love is now mingled with grief. Okay. Foreboding Runes. Black and red mana. Wow, you can see even a dragon in the far horizon. The road appeared lonely and forsaken, running down to empty ruins in the mist. But there was an evil feeling in the air. Indeed there is. There's a big dragon flying out there. So you gotta be careful. Frostboil Snarl. Oh, cool. It's like a really, really chill side and really steamy hot side in this one. And luckily enough, like the stairs are on the icy side, so you might slip if you go up the mountain side. Okay. Blue or red mana indeed. A great smoke rose about us, vapor and steam. Ice fell like rain as I threw down my enemy. Okay, so I guess like the battle between Gandalf and the Balrog. Cool. Really nice. Smoldering Marsh. Black and red mana. Before the shadows of evening were long in happier lands, they went on again with only brief halts until they had come to the very midst of the dead marshers. Wow, so of course these are like supposed to represent the dead marshes, or some sort, I guess. I wonder though why is black and red? Maybe it should be black and blue. I wonder. Interesting though. Swamp Mountain though, of course. Sulphur Falls. I guess that's Dale. We've seen that one before. Blue and red mana. Sulphurous Springs. Colorless. And if you add any other kind of other mana, it does also does damage to you. A land defiled, disease beyond all healing, unless the great sea should enter in and wash it with oblivion. Then let it come. Sunken Hollow, blue and black mana. Isengard began to fill up with black creeping steams and pools. The waters found their way down into the shafts and spout holes until at last Isengard looked like a huge flat saucepan, all steaming and bubbling. All of these things of the tree folk and the ants. Cool. Underground River. Who's that guy? I wonder who's that guy. Chilling in the deep depths of the world. But stream and pool is wet and cool, so nice for feet. We only wish to catch a fish so juicy sweet. You can even see some of the fish here, like in front of him. So juicy, sweet. Just like the movies. Love that. Love this. All these details. So well done. Treason of Isengard. 3 mana for sorcery. Put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library, and then you amass orcs 2. Okay. I mean, for 3 mana, it's not so bad. Oh, you can see like Orthang, the Tower of Saruman on the back there. So cool. And the white hand. Bitter Downfall. I don't remember Boromir having 4 arrows, just 3. This spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature that was dealt damage this turn. 4 mana, destroy that target creature, its controller loses 2 life. I tried to take the ring from Frodo, I am sorry, I have paid. You fought bravely, Boromir. Troll of Khazad-dûm, 6 black mana. Troll of Khazad-dûm cannot be blocked except by 3 or more creatures, so that's like a better way, better menace, I guess, version of menace. Swamp Cycling, 6/5, a great cave troll, I think. There is no hope of escape that way. Cool. Let's put it up here. Oh, Voracious Fellbeast. Not a dragon, but a beast this time, a drake. Smaller version of a dragon. 6 mana for a 4/4 with flying. When this guy enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature, and then you create a food token for each creature sacrificed this way. So food for us, and not so good for our opponents. Okay. Fiery Inscription, 3 mana for this really lovely enchantment. When this enchantment enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Fire Inscription deals 2 damage to each opponent. Wow. And of course the inscription in the Black Speech of Mordor. Cool. Grishnach, Brash Instigator. 3 mana for a 1/1. Oh yeah. When this guy enters the battlefield, you amass orcs 2. When you do, until the end of the turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than equal to the mass army's power. Untap the creature and it gains hands until the end of the turn. So far, it's a really interesting card for 3 mana, only at 1/1, so afterwards it becomes a bit less useful, but for what it does, I take it. Really good. Arcane Denial, 2 mana, instant. Counter target spell, its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep as well. Okay, so that's Sauron's deflecting some sort of magic. Wow, that's so cool. Last night I told you of Sauron, the Dark Lord. The rumors are true. He has arisen again. Boom. Look at that. Boon of the Wishkeeper. So cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 9 rings of power given to the race of men, doomed to die. So amazing. Draw 4 cards and cycling. Oh, here we have 3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky, 7 for the Dwarf Lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the Dark Lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. Cool. Love the art one. Like, the art is so cool. consider. Oh, okay. So it's Saruman looking upon Sauron from the top of his tower, I guess. A new power is rising against it. The all allies and policies will not avail us at all. There is one choice before us. Reveal one and draw a card. Kruna. Cool. Deep analysis for mana. Target player draws 2 cards. And flashback. And the cost of 3 lives. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world. Wow. Looks like the Eye of Gollum looking at them. So amazing. Okay. Fact of or fiction for mana. Instant. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put one of them on your hand and the other one in your graveyard. Cool. What aid have you ever brought, Stormcrow, and what aid do you bring now? It was aid from us that you sought the last time you were here, Warpdog. Grima. Okay. Forbidden Alchemy, 3 mana. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Really nice. Okay. Feed the Swarm, 2 mana for a sorcery, destroy target creature or enchantment and opponent control. You lose life equal to the permanent's mana value. I mean, you gotta do what you need to do, right? If you need to destroy something, you just do it and keep going. Destroy everything. That's the purpose of this deck. Oh. Merciless Executioner, 3 mana for an Orc Warrior, 3/1. And when this guy enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. Ukluk. Love the Orc speech. Ukluk. Nice. Thrill of Possibility, 2 mana for an instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, discard a card, and then you draw 2 cards. Okay. Extract from Darkness, 5 mana. Each player mills 2 cards, then you put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Wow. Really nice. Up to the next one. Oh, of course, Arcane Signet. We have one of these in each of our decks. Okay. Another artifact. Basalt Monolith. Okay. Add 3 colorless mana. Wow. When it turns around the black rock, you will see it. Suddenly you will see it above you and you will want to hide. Wow, really nice. Really like. Okay. And the Palantiri. I wonder what's inside. It looks like Sauron. I just realized it's Sauron and maybe Saruman or maybe Gandalf and Radagast. Awesome. Never realized that. Cool. Everflowing Chalice costs 0. Has multi-kicker. And when this enters the battlefield with a charge counter on it, for each time it was kicked. And if you tap it, add colorless mana for each charge counter on the Everflowing Chalice. Cool. So really nice, actually. Really nice artifact. Mind Stone, more mana. Soul Ring, makes perfect sense to have one of these in this deck. Worn Power Stone. Damn, it's really cool. The Palantir of the kings of all, the name meant that which looks far away. The Orthodox Stone was one, and it was beyond Saruman's art. Indeed, they're really all artifacts. Command Tower. Crumbling Necropolis. Blue, black, or red mana. As Frodo put on the ring and claimed it for his own, the power in Barad-dûr was shaken, and the tower trembled from its foundations to its proud and bitter crown. Wow. Evolving Wilds. Not so bad. Field of Ruin. Again. Path of Ancestry. Really nice. Okay. Rogue's Passage. Terramorphic Expanse. And the lands, but here we have a few other cards that I dropped before. Sorry guys. Revenge of Ravens, enchantment for 4 mana. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Wow. Nice. Okay, if the opponent has no way to take this one off, then it just keeps punishing them all over and over. Shiny Impetus. Hey, that's our friend Golem, jumping away from a goblin. 3 mana. You enchant creature, and then it gets 2/2 and is goaded. Attacks each combat if able, and attacks a player other than you if able. Cool. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token. So yeah, finally, basically like you become Golem, I guess. I don't know. Girder's Snipe, 3 mana for the Goblin Shaman. 2/2, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Girder's Snipe deals 2 damage to each opponent. Wow, really nice, really good, powerful with all the spells we have in this deck. I have looked on Moria and it is very great, but it has become dark and dreadful. Cool, I like all this different stuff he's using to do some sort of alchemy or some sort of black magic, and this is kind of creepy here on the side. The Dark's Magics. Anger, 4 mana. Incarnation, 2/2 haste. As long as Anger's in your graveyard and you control a mountain, creatures you control have haste. Wow. That's really powerful. Cool. So I guess you don't really mind if that goes into the graveyard. Faithless Looting, 1 red mana. You draw 2 cards and then you discard 2 cards. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Grima stealing stuff. Ooh, okay, this is a cool one. The Mouth of Sauron. Damn, look at that horse. Okay, so 5 mana. Blue and black. Human Advisor, 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards. And then you amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards that put into the graveyard. Wow. Cool. Good stuff, good stuff. And finally, Goblin Crater Maker, 2 mana for the 2/2. Choose one. It deals 2 damage to target creature, or you destroy target colorless land permanent. Okay, so again, here we have all the lands that we have already seen the designs of them. Really, really cool stuff. Okay, and here we have the beautiful extra token from Sauron. There we go. Okay, wow. It's amazing. Okay, let's put it here with the other one. And of course, Orc Army. Food. Different version of food. Wraith. Really cool one. Really good design. I wonder. 3/3 with menace. Goblins. Lots of goblins. Wonder what's at the back. More wraiths. Makes sense. A dragon. Flying menace. When this creature deals comes to damage, you gain control of target artifact that player controls. That's what we saw before. And more wraiths. Wonder how many are there? 4, 5, 6. 6 wraiths. Wait a second. Maybe we have more behind these treasures. Yes. 7, 8, and 9. Of course, the 9 wraiths and the ring. Cool. Okay, and finally we gotta open our sample booster pack and see what is inside. Okay. Let's see. Ta-da! And nothing to see here. And our first one is okay, Sam, loyal attendant. So this is goes with Frodo in the deck of Food and Fellowship, but this one is borderless. Cool, really nice. Our second card is, and last card, Nasty N. Okay, we already had those one. Okay guys, this was the commander deck, the Hosts of Mordor. I hope you like this tiny series of videos, a bit different from what we are used to in the channel. But if you liked it, just leave some comments in the comment section, and we're gonna play some games with these cards in the future. And we'll see what, maybe we're gonna do some more videos with Magic the Gathering, of course, because why not? It's so awesome. But yeah, hope you like these videos, and hope you have a good day too.